Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this video and welcome to the group for those of you that are new. My name is Coach Cherry, and obviously, if you know me already, you would know that. If you're not familiar with that, like usually I am here doing videos and trainings to basically give you perspective of what is the best strategy, and also what is the best way for you to actually be able to do the work, right? To get to the results that you need, to usually lose some weight and keep it off. And probably if you're here, you're watching, you're probably already on your late 30s or 40s that struggle with the weight or weight plateaus maybe for years. And one thing that you've been struggling with, or at least like that comes into your mind all the time, is that this idea that as you age, your hormone changes, right? And as your hormone changes, your metabolism changes. And as you might have done stuff in the past to lose weight, such as dieting, that maybe even used to work and now no longer does, you understand that you are basically compromising your metabolism, right? So what we're going to talk about here is one topic that you had voted for. I did a poll a few years ago, and one of the things that came up often was this idea of metabolism, right? What's going on with my metabolism? Is my metabolism really broken? And obviously, what metabolism is, even to the clinical and to the scientific level, is a very much misunderstood topic, right? It's very hard to understand what's going on really in your metabolism, because this is also the weight loss and fitness field. Every single time you seem to hear something, and then maybe 10 minutes after, you hear something totally opposite, right? And then you don't know kind of where to make sense. So what I did here, I tried to oversimplify a very complex topic. And again, what I wanted to do inside this video is showing you exactly that your metabolism is not broken. Your genetic is not the limitation. And even though you are one of the 1% of people that really have a metabolic condition, you still can lose weight and keep it off, understanding the things that you need to understand here. Okay, so we're gonna dive deep into that, and then of course I'm gonna give you some really easy to apply tactic that you can do at the end. But one thing I wanted to actually do before, it's really to start this video off with making you get this part right, that when it comes to metabolism, when it comes to your ability or inability to lose weight, it's always going to come down to a couple of things. Basically, there are laws of the metabolism, law of metabolism, and then the law of individuality, right? And in fact, the metabolism have several laws: law of multitasking, law of investigation, and then there is the law of individuality, because you are a single individual. And in fact, one of the law, with this idea that you always keep to having to investigate inside what's happening into your metabolism, is because you will try something, you will take action into something specific, and then you need to gather data and you need to see if that's working, right? Those of you watching that believe that metabolism is really all about, or hormones is all about a food or food group that you have to take away. And again, I have had several conversations, especially in these weeks, as we are filling up our intakes into our program, that people tell me, oh, I have a thyroid issue. I am 100%, I need to do intermittent fasting, 100% I need to do reducing carbs, or I cannot eat over this amount, or I cannot eat after 30 minutes, or whatever the case is. Or I have PCOS or menopause, I cannot do this workout. If you're one of these extremist mentality that sometimes been overdrawn into you from years of damage from the healthcare industry, fitness industry, weight loss industry, and you're convinced that what you think is actually what it is, chances are you're not going to like my content. Chances are probably you don't even like my group itself, because here, if you come with a mentality that you know better, or if or that you think that already what then this is not for you. I don't think that this is going to be useful when it comes to metabolism, because it's a very misunderstood context. And if you are of the mentality of the both of those that say your metabolism is a chemistry lab, as long as I eat avocado all day, or I take away carbohydrates, this is going to be the results. That's what I need to do. Or I drink this specific tea, or I eat that, I eat the Brazilian nut, right? And then, it's going to fix my problem when it comes to estrogen, right? Like if you're that kind of person, chances are you're gonna hate my content, because this is not like, it's not going to give you anything that new that you haven't figured out. It's not going to give you the magic bullet. It's going to give you context. It's going to give you tangible action steps, but it's not going to give you the magic bullet. So if you're looking for the magic bullets, you're not going to like it. Funny part is that those that really are convinced into that, whether your metabolism is a calculator or a chemistry set, which is basically either calorie in, calorie out, or hormones, right? They're stuck there all the time. Like they can lose weight, they're never in shape. They are, they never really get to the results they want, because they're not open-minded to the law of investigation in your metabolism, or the law of the individuality, of the law of the fact that whatever works for her, right, even though it's the same age, same weight, maybe same gender, it doesn't work for me, right? So you need to understand and investigate into what it is. Okay, so as we move now deep into that, we start by showing you in making metabolic simple, what is metabolism. Okay, what is metabolism? And I said it before. Metabolism is basically it's not a calculator, right? And it's not a chemistry set. Okay, so I'm just gonna share this right now, just to show you some slides here. So metabolism isn't a calculator, and it's not a chemistry set, right? Now, the funny part is that every single time, when you do something, when you actually research online, you always have this mentality of people telling you, this is the way you have to go, right? And like automatically that makes the other way wrong. Meaning like, metabolism is a calculator, all you need is calorie in, calorie out, and that's basically the way to go. Or metabolism is a chemistry set. Okay, that means that as long as you don't spike insulin and you keep your carbohydrates very low, you're gonna lose weight, right? Okay, cool, right? Cool. Okay, you might lose weight, sure, because as you keep your carb very low, you're losing a bunch of water. So in the scale, you're right, you're gonna lose weight. But that the implication of you then thinking that way and then making metabolism calorie in, calorie out wrong, right? Or the opposite way by any chance, that's the problem all along. Okay, that's a problem because people tend to feel like there is only one way to go, and the actually truth is in the middle. Okay, your metabolism is a stress barometer, is a seesaw, is a calculator. Sorry, is a thermostat, which basically senses action and adapts to the action and the reaction. Okay, so basically it's something that is very flexible by nature, and then it becomes unflexible as you create unflexibility inside the metabolism. This is why when you are here, let's say you have 2,000 calories, you make 1,500 calories, you lose some weight, and then at some point it's going to stall. At some point you hit a plateau, right? So the way for you to lose the plateau, to break the plateau, you need to create another deficit, right? Taking away 500 more calories, right? And of course, it can be done by working out more and eating less, but you get to a point that you're hitting 1,000 calories, and that's a problem because it's not sustainable, right? If you're doing a diet, this is basically what it is. What it is like what the diet does. Instead of creating a healthy, sustainable deficit of 500 to 300 calories a day, it creates a deficit of 1,000 a day, right? And you know that what that means. The first week you start losing weight, and then it stops. This is why extreme diets are so restrictive, and by chance this could be a keto diet or a slim war diet or whatever, the shakes diet, all the BS that you see out there creates that excess deficit that you cannot sustain. You feel like you're guilty. You tell yourself, oh, I'm such a failure, I'm not going to be able to maintain it. And you don't understand that the physiology is the problem. It's not you. It's not like you feel bad about it, but it's not really you. It's mostly a evolutionary mechanism of protection, meaning like when we used to be hunter-gatherers, right? Some tribes still act this way, like they go hunt. And again, like when you used to be in the past, there were times that you could eat and there is time that you couldn't eat. You went to hunt, You ate the food, you got the food, and then you ate. Right now, you go to the grocery store, and not only you can get food whenever, you get the most palatable food that you can, right? So, your body doesn't understand that, and when you go from a time of restricting food, doing on a diet, trying to get your abs to show on the beach, you basically telling your body unconsciously that you're starving, right? And so it tries to create compensation mechanism. This is why when you have a diet that it's you 2,700 calorie to maintain, you eat 500 calorie less, it works for about 3 months, and 3 months after you gain weight, this maintenance went down to the same 2,200 calories. So in order for you to see results, you basically need to do more, and it becomes more difficult, it becomes less motivating, and this is why you struggle. Now, to a nutshell, this is called metabolic adaptation, which is also a law of the metabolism. And the way it works is quite simple, is that, like I said, if you create is a thermostat, the metabolism, right? So let's say that to maintain your weight, you need to hit 2,000 calories, and we will use that as an example. To lose weight, you have to either work out more or eat less, or a combination of both, but you need to create a 500 calorie sustainable deficit. Chances are within this amount, your body will not raise any red flag. It will lose weight sustainably if your body is ready to lose weight, okay? And again, the problem is that most people don't know how to create a 500 calorie deficit. They're creating 500 calorie and they overeating, they misestimating the calorie intake, and they have no idea what they're doing, and they basically create only about 100 calorie deficit. They don't see results, they get demotivated and they stop. Or they go on a diet, they create 1,000 calorie deficit because it's so restrictive. Your maintenance level that was here goes down very quickly to 1,200 calorie, and in order for you to see results, you need to eat less or to work out even more, making a 1,000 calorie diet unsustainable. You can probably sustain it if you have very good willpower for a few months, okay? And in a nutshell, that's it. What happened next? What happened next is basically metabolic compensation, metabolic adaptation, and basically that's the homeostasis. Homeostasis is a word that means that it's basically like same balance. And it's very simple. It's very simply that if you keep eating less and working out more, your metabolism fights back, right? And I wish you can see that. Like it's not like it was like a GIF. It was pulling right and left. It's actually pretty funny. Your metabolism slow down. You raise hormonal hunger. You decrease full. This is actually ghrelin hormonal hunger, the hormone of hunger. You decrease leptin, which is the fullness hormones. And all these compensations all this compensation basically is a signal that makes you be having more hunger, more cravings, and then you eat. And basically, what happens on the scale? You basically gain some weight, which is usually water weight. But then this is kind of like the idea to say, oh, my hormones are fucked up. My hormones are why I cannot lose weight. As soon as I eat this specific food, usually carbs, I'm gaining weight. And you don't really understand what's going on. You're gaining weight, yes. You're getting water, yes. But you're not really getting anything wrong at this point, okay? Just to put you in perspective, this is the composition of your metabolism. I'm going to make this bigger, just so of this thing. Basically, this is the composition of metabolism. And this is the metabolic rate, natural metabolic rate, the TEF, the energy that you use to digest food, the NEAT, when you're just fidgeting, like I'm doing here right now, when you're walking, or when you're purposely walking, or you're moving a lot more when you eat. If you ever notice, maybe you have like something really energetic, and then you feel like you're gonna walk around more, like you're moving more, like your body knows, right? What happens when you start creating metabolic adaptation or compensation is that this part, which is called NEAT, it's which is unconscious movements such as daily step, hour awake, energy availability, fidgeting, all these things. Your body creates compensation to make it lower, to make this thing decrease. So your metabolism doesn't get ruined. It doesn't get broken. It's not like something that happens to the BMR, which is the 80%. It happens to the, let's say, we'll call it 20%, but NEAT can in fact be at times even 50, 60%, making your metabolism 150% active. Meaning, like, if you're the person that does 12,000 to 20,000 steps a day, this NEAT can be up to 80%, right? So by you creating metabolic adaptation, right, and not getting that when your body gives you signals to stop whatever you're doing, which is a too extreme diet, whatever, and you don't listen, and you want to have willpower, your body says, I'm going to be stronger than you. So I'm going to fuck up your sleep. Okay. When you sleep instead of 8 hours, and people that sleep, 4 hours and stuff, like, and no matter how they eat, they sleep 4 hours. Maybe they've been fasting for years, doing damage to the metabolism for years. Your level of neurotransmitters, such as dopamines in your brain, still forces you to sleep less. And this is usually is called metabolic. You're getting close to metabolic resistance, but getting close to metabolic dysfunction is something that you can actually, you involve hormones such as insulin, adrenals, thyroid, and up to sometimes sex hormones. And when you get to the point that you say, oh, I'm going to do my stuff, I'm going to have willpower, I'm not going to be like everybody else that quits, I'm going to keep going, then you get stuff on a lab. Like, then you can go to the lab, and then you get, thyroid markers, you get insulin resistance, you get things such as cholesterol, waistline, triglycerides, and all these things. When you can observe these things, your body is in such of inflammation, right? Then you basically have gone from metabolic compensation, which is something you can fix in easy as 7 days, to metabolic dysfunction, which is something that you fix in a few months if you do the work. Okay, so understand that there's nothing irreparable, but if you keep doing what you're doing, and for most time, unfortunately, it means to not understanding what you're doing, having no context, and doing shit alone, that's usually messed up, create you even a worse situation that is very hard to fix. The longer you diet for, the longer it's going to take. The amount of diet you tried, the longer it's going to take to fix. That's an unfortunate truth. Funnily enough, it can be done usually in a few months to maybe up to a year. And usually you fix a problem that you took maybe years to fix. When it comes to metabolism, this is kind of like how the metabolism work, and kind of like making it simple. One thing I want to touch on still right now, as I stop sharing this for a second, is really this idea of, the hormonal involvement into to metabolism. Meaning, like, for some reason, the hormonal changes that happens, like, after menopause, or like after 40 years old, most people feel like, okay, the hormones is now blocking my metabolism ability to work, better or good, or there are some hormones that stop me from losing weight. This is not the case. Okay, I'm going to say it again very slowly. This is not what's happening. Metabolism and hormones, how metabolism produces hormones, is totally unrelated for your ability to lose fat, to lose weight, to lose belly fat, and to get this thing to actually be sustainable. If you don't believe me, just check out all the pictures that you see on the picture section, or like research whatever we did, or you're probably getting 1,000 emails from us showing you testimonials. All these ladies were in over 40, most of them. They were from years of dieting. They were able to reverse their metabolic slowdown in months. Okay, so thinking that you have some sort of like a metabolic dysfunction and hormonal production that is gonna totally get you unable to lose weight, this is not what's happening. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna give you now a few scenarios of usually what's the case is. If you are insulin resistant, okay, insulin resistant, which is the bottom of the pyramid, is going to slow the amount of fat loss. It's going to slow it down. It's like running on a car with a brake on, okay? It's going to slow it down. It's not going to stop it. That means that as long as you're doing more, most of the time, chances are you are doing the right amount of work. The other scenario, one very common scenario, thyroid, okay? Thyroid, or building hormone that are the building blocks of the metabolism. If you're doing low carb, low this, restriction that, usually cardio workouts, too much movement. Chances are that's the reason why your thyroid doesn't work well. It's not your thyroid doesn't work well, so you have to do something about it, okay? It's an induced problem for 80% of the time. So you induced your thyroid to be like that. If you weren't born, or in this case, very young age, and you got diagnosed with a thyroid issue at 9 years old, chances are your thyroid got this way for something you did. Most of the time, again, it's due to very lack of carb, especially after 40, and starches specifically, or too much stress. Menopause and all that type of stuff, all this hormone, PCOS, estrogen, progesterone, lower level of testosterone. Most of the time, and again, this video is about making stuff simple. Most of the time is a overstressing approach. You are stressing your life. You don't sleep enough. You stress yourself by eating less, by doing diets, by working out too frequently or too much. Okay, so as you see here, there is a pattern. All these hormones are a result of you doing certain stuff. And what happens, the hormone usually what they do, they basically creates reaction on the acute level. Okay, acute level mean that you will go to the scale and you see weight going up, right? But we also should make sense that you losing weight, it doesn't mean that you're losing fat, right? And I'm assuming that if you're here that you want to see an amazing body in the mirror, that's what gives you confidence. Chances are you don't want to lose weight. You want to build some healthy muscle, and you want to see a very toned and lean body, right? And probably feel better, because like if you can have more energy and work out, and sleep better, chances are it's going to improve. Then this is kind of like where we're going. If you have a let's say cortisol issue, you're going to retain a lot of water. It's gonna weight a lot more. When you have your period, like you eat something, like you probably blow up and you feel like my clothes doesn't fit, and I'm like gaining a bunch of weight. In reality, you're gaining a bunch of water. Okay, like same way when you starve yourself, you might be and you do keto, you're losing a bunch of weight, but that doesn't mean that you're getting any healthier. The one thing that you should aim on doing to get an amazing flexible metabolism is look the way you want, like picture the way you have, like the way you want to look, right? With all lean, amazing body, like bikini body, right? And be there the heaviest possible, because the heaviest possible means that you're going to have an amount of muscle that is more than average, like tone muscle. Then it's going to give you a functional metabolism, better energy, sleep better calorie partitioning, and on the same way, it's gonna get you to be lean and not necessarily just losing weight. It's gonna be lean, very toned, but it's gonna have all these hormones to be very balanced. So no more thyroid imbalance, no more sex hormones imbalance, and definitely no insulin imbalance, right? So the hormone itself, that's the way they act. They get produced or overproduced from the stress that your metabolism and body feels. And sometimes this stress, unfortunately, is what you it's what you make up of it, meaning like you actually do something or stress yourself out, and then you create that. So obviously to fix that is very simple, right? But to boil it down to metabolism made simple, and in this way, it's like there is usually two scenarios, and it's simple as that. Funnily enough, there is a person that does too much, and it feels like I'm not doing enough, and I say, okay, what are you doing? I'm eating, I'm cutting this, I'm cutting that, I'm on a 1,200 calorie diet, and I'm not seeing results. And on top of that, I'm working out a few times, and I'm doing 50,000 steps. But I think I should do 20,000. Okay, so you're basically doing way too much that you need in frequency and intensity, and you should really come to here. You should come to the middle is here. We'll call it the homeostasis, right? The balance. So you should really come back to balance. The other person is the one that says, oh, I'm doing a lot. I'm cutting this, I'm cutting that. I'm eating healthy. And then I'm asking, okay, what are you eating? Oh, I'm eating good during the week, but then on the weekend, I'm kind of like drinking this, I'm drinking that. I'm having a few glasses of wines almost daily. I'm going out. I'm getting like, I'm eating. I'm snacking throughout the whole time. I'm not eating a lot. I'm eating healthy, but I'm snacking. I'm snacking here. I'm snacking there. So you consume over more calories, and you go on this side. You also create inflammation on the same way. You create stress to your body that most of the time cannot compensate. So again, you need to come back to balance. You need to come back to the base level, okay? Most of the time is a problem in this case of you not doing enough, feeling like that you're doing enough. In other words, you underestimate calorie, you underreport calories, or you don't remember what you're doing. AKA, you don't remember the oil that you're putting on a salad. AKA, you don't remember the bad stuff you have. You don't remember what you put in your coffee. You way over, like you move very small, like you think you're moving a lot, but you're not even doing 2,000 steps, right? I mean, there are several things you must do for you to move. Like, balance is always the thing. Like, you don't want to do either or. Like, whatever creates. Remember, the metabolism is a thermostat, and the thermostat adapts and reacts. So if you always do more, it's going to react to more, and you need to give more to get more in return. So this is why it's difficult putting it down on that specific level. Now, how can I help you to understand what's wrong with your metabolism? We said about individuality before, the law of individuality and the law of you being an investigator, right? Multitasking. How can I fix this for you? I can give you a couple of tips here, which I'm going to give you. But what I want to do for you is something that we did several times in the past. It's totally free inside this group. So it's accessible to everybody as long as you can actually do the work. And basically, it's called Fix My Metabolism. Okay, that's a Zoom call that we go, me and you, face to face. I'm going to ask a bunch of questions regarding to your current situation and regarding why your metabolism, you feel like, or based on what you're doing, how you work out, what's going on. It's as simple as that. I'm going to record a call and I'm going to put it in this group to show other people why is the results that you're getting, you can get. If you do what I'm saying for the next month, chances are you would see a result. Chances are you would figure out what the weight plateau that you have is, and chances are you would get that result. So, coming back, this is what, like, there is two things, before, like, and I'm gonna show this to you at the end, how to get this metabolism, fix my metabolism. But before that, I want to give you a few tips that can generally be the solution for most people. Now, if you want to start, like, if you hear all that and you feel like, wow, that's a lot of information, I need to process that. How can I fix this? One thing that most people, this is kind of like thing that I identified that happens for most people and they don't realize it, is that they don't drink enough water, okay? So one thing that you can start doing is drinking water, okay? The second thing that you can start doing is eat enough, okay? Eat enough food. I cannot stress enough the amount of people that feel like they have a metabolic issue. I'm asked them, like, do you eat? I have cravings all the time, and like, okay, how much do you eat? Oh, I had just like a broccoli, chicken, and rice, one meal. It's like, I mean, that you're not eating enough. Get in enough step and track it, meaning, like, know exactly how many steps you are. Like, one fitness tracker is like $20. You can just get that, or like you can just look on your phone, like I'm doing. Just have a sense of week by week how many steps you do. You're gonna have a sense of, am I moving enough? Am I moving too much? Usually up to more than 10,000 steps, over a long period of time is too much. Under 2,000 steps is too little. Like, you just need to be a common ground, okay? Do strength training. 90% of the issue that that you have in metabolism that can be fixed by having more muscle, more tone muscle, because muscle equals hydration. Your muscle is hydrated for 80% of the time, therefore equals hydration. Drink enough water, but also strength training. That means go to the gym or buy weights or kettlebell or TRX that you can do at the house, okay? If you don't know what to do, tag me and I can give you some indication how to start from there. The last one, eat enough protein, okay? Eat enough protein. You can start your meal, any dish that you make, you got the dish, you fill half of the dish with vegetable, and one or two big, one serving size of protein. Most of the time it's gonna do the work, and then all the rest is between carbs and healthy fat, okay? You wanna make your like, if you made it this way, chances are you're eating something between 500 to 700 calories, which is usually a very balanced and healthy meals. With this being said, this is something you can start doing now. And the thing that, again, the one thing that's going to be a different maker between you understanding what's going on if you have a metabolic issue or if you couldn't know how to break your weight plateau is the following: getting clear. And getting clear, like I said before, It's done with a process that I call Metabolic Fix My Metabolism. Is a little something that honestly I don't charge for. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to do it without any charge, but I would highly consider that you want to take that in consideration. And number one is you going down here, commenting, fix my metabolism. I'm going to reach out at you. We're going to jump in a Zoom call. The one thing I'm going to tell you before the Zoom call is go into your phone or computer, download either MyFitnessPal and lose it, right? Or any other food tracking app, right? That allows you to track how much you eat. And the one thing that I want you to do is basically track your food for 3 days and take a screenshot, put it inside the group, tag me down there. If you apply for Fix My Metabolism, I'm going to reach out at you. I'm going to reach out at any person that applies for that, and it's going to be free. But I'm going to have you do the 3-day tracking because I really need to see what are you doing, what you feel like you're eating, are you eating enough, and kind of like if you do your tracking and your pictures of the food and you post it inside the group tagging me, I'm going to have a very good indication whether or not you're underreporting calories, whether you're doing what you feel like you're doing, and from there we go. I hope this was helpful. Like I tried it, like it's been like 30 minutes. I tried to make this as simple as I can. Obviously, it's a very difficult topic, metabolism, and is also very misunderstood. There is a lot of study that still comes out as far as what we have now in science and clinical studies and everything. This is the gist of it. This is why people most of the time struggle. And again, it's not about coming out with the best review, meta review with all the clinical study possible. It's about giving you something tangible that you can do the work. Because I feel like if you're here, wanting to break your weight plateau, you can care less about all the studies and the physiology and the anatomy. You want to fix your problem, and I'm here to make that problem a very fixable thing and very quick things to fix. Jerry here. I wish you an amazing weekend. Let me know. Tell me, comment here if you have question. Comment here, Fix My Metabolism, if you want to come in free with me for free, or you ask me another question. And again, if you want to be eligible for winning inside the challenge, you want to be showing up to the Zoom call. And regardless to that, I really want to start by framing this holiday challenge with an invite for you to come in and do the work. Despite if you're new, despite if you couldn't make for whatever reason the Zoom call, come in and do the work, because if you set up the foundation, you start 2023 with a bang, and you're gonna finally achieve your results. Jerry here. Talk to you soon.